It's a list no coach wants to be on. CBS Sports ranked the 25 worst college football hires of this century, going back to, obviously, the year 2000.
Oh, yeah, everybody's digging on this 2025 thing. You get to actually play the quarter of the century thing.
Geoff Collins comes in at number 22, and that disaster that was Georgia Tech.
Wrong.
He should be higher on that list.
That's a bad number.
A lot higher on that list. And maybe we're too close to the situation, but I got him in my top 3.
Yeah, he's a flim-flam, man. That should move him up 7 spots alone.
The ultimate con. Collins never won more than 3 games in a season. Brent Key has done so in 3 consecutive seasons. I mean, he just stepped right in and hit the ground running.
Yes.
Cleaning up Geoff Collins' mess.
Now you got to tell me, who are the top 3?
So
you better have this list in front of you if you've started this.
I don't have the top 3. All I can tell you is there's a co-number 1. It's Mike Price at Alabama and Michael Haywood at Pittsburgh. Now, we know Mike Price came from Washington State, had the big charity golf tournament, Roll Tide, it's rolling, baby. Whatever happened to a second chance? They let him actually have that press conference in Tuscaloosa. So he leaves, and then you've got Haywood, who made a jump from Miami of Ohio to Pittsburgh, then after a few weeks arrested and charged with felony domestic violence charges. There's no laughing matter there.
No.
But that's why those two are tied for number 1.
I will tell you that as bad as it was for Mike Price, Hayward should have been number 1, but there should have been a caveat. There should have been, this guy, it was such a bad hire, he didn't even get to coach. So I think that probably makes you number 1. I can't believe the Mike Price thing feels like it was more than 25 years.
It sure does.
That doesn't feel like this century.
No.
Matter of fact, it's like some Braves lineups. I'd be like, was that 98 or 2002 that guy was here? Mike Price, I would have put $1,000 down, not blinking, to say, no, it was 97, 98.
Then they have to scramble. Mike Shula has to step in.
That's right. Ugh. But again, remember, they were Alabama, 54-46, with 3 coaches in a matter of like no time.
Well, that's why.
And Nick Saban came and did the greatest job ever.
Right.
There's never been a hire. I'll say this. There's never been a hire better than Nick Saban at Alabama. Mm-hmm. Never. Because you had what was a 54-46 year, an embarrassment on top of that. Embarrassment with what was going on over there.
That's why you better give Nick Saban credit. Those that say, well, he went to Alabama. No, Alabama was not the Alabama we know today.
It's the greatest hire ever.
They're a house of fire. Ellis Johnson is number 3 at Southern Miss. He inherits a team that went 12-2 the year before under Larry Fedora and went 0-12.
That was bad. That's bad.
He hired a strength and conditioning coach that hadn't worked in college football in 20 years. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do right now. Everybody's going to deadlift every day for 3 straight hours. Chalk up! The hell's this guy talking about?
Do you understand that it would have been better hiring a guy who hadn't done it in 50 years? Because 20 years away means that he was away for 20 years, and I agree 1,000%. It was, we're going to do it the Nebraska way. What's that? Steroids and deadlifting.
Let's go. Deadlifts. Shots at the end. I got the syringe. I don't think that's legal, Coach. Matter of fact, I think that's a felony.
You would have been better off hiring a guy who hadn't worked since the 60s, where it would have been about calisthenics and toe touches.